So again, as you're trying to think of this dimensional surface, here's a tube, and you can kind of build it right up off of that. So if this is the elliptical part, building it off from there, making it symmetrical as it goes through. Still, you can build this up off of a rectangular shape and just taper it as it goes back. And building that up. So you're kind of getting the thickness at the same time, building the volume of it. So all these lines that are on this lid, for example, if you're doing that piece, starts off right at the top, tapers as it goes around. And builds that across. Then as you do the body part of it, think of the lettering going around it. So there it's kind of the tube wrapped around itself. And then the shading. So once you see the initial part, you can start in giving it a little tone there. And now it's just like a cylindrical that's been tapered all the way around. In this case, it's a center line, if you think of it for the lettering. And wrapping itself down there. And now you can turn your whole drawing if you need to, so you can write it a little easier. And in this case, just taking the letters. So each letter, think of it as a rectangular shape. Okay, so there's the Newton, and it's a serif font.
Yeah, I know. He was there. She was like an angry boy.
So that's this part. And the Windsor part, in this case, is going to round the text. And you can place all the serifs as they wrap around this text. Building that. And then the designer gouache again, just going to rotate the drawing a little bit. And take a look, it starts at the beginning and end, has a little bit of a gap there. So I can put the baseline and height line. This kind is curved. Go back to the other part, kind of count up the letters and see that the G designer is going to be in the middle. So it's pretty easy to start to illustrate that. So you can kind of build it up there. And then wrapping it around the other side, you may not see all of the letters. So there it is, kind of wrapped around itself. So it gives you a nice design for it. The edge of this may come through. You might see some of that as it wraps itself upside down. But for the most part, you have the basic shape of this and then the outside edge. And then it's just a matter of shading that part in. And the shiny part is metal, so you can put a little reflection to it. And you can give this part, because it does have a angled edge there. And just go with the 6-tone scale. You got the bass tone. This is a white surface on the sample I'm doing. So just remember, it's the dark values are not super dark in the shading. But they do wrap themselves around there. And once you get it all laid out, you can go back and really heavy up some of the object lines a bit. And if you ever get lost, just break it back down to into the solid geometry. And you really get that. And then the cast shadow for this, which is very light.